Yes.
Is the weather.
Yes.
Is the weather.
Welcome to Hit FM.
Thank you, bro. Good to be here.
Yes.
Good to see you.
So how have you been?
Running around,
Okay.
campaign stuff. Some 45 days to go. So
Yeah.
you have to be all over the place.
Must be a very busy time trying to
Crisscrossing the country, 16 regions, 276 constituencies, close to 40,000 polling stations.
Wow.
And we're just trying to do what we have to do.
Man.
Because we must win the elections.
Right.
We have to win the elections. So.
Right. I really admire, resilient people like yourself, the effort you're putting in. What it takes to do one event, and these are like multiple events
on daily basis.
Yes.
You're doing like 4, 5, 6 heavy events in a day.
Wow.
Every day, across the country. It's just by the grace of God. Just by the grace of God. But we're hanging in there.
Right. Right. Wish you all the best. I'm sure we're going to talk more about, some of these deeds. For those for that listener listening to you right now who don't know who Miracle is, who is Miracle?
He's a short man. Very, very short.
Right.
It's the presidential height. I come from Latte.
Right.
Latte Ekiapem.
Oh.
On the mountains. So I'm just some 45 minutes away
from home.
I can scream right now and say, Mercury kidnapped me, and
they all be here.
They just have to jump from the mountains and they are here.
Awesome.
But predominantly, I lived most of my life there.
Right.
I did very early primary school in Latte. So I did Methodist primary and then Presby primary. So I did 2 primary schools in Latte actually.
Right.
Because the primary school is just like 10 steps away from home.
Oh.
So what happened was
so you were one of those who would go home to have lunch and come back.
I wasn't staying in school in the class.
Right.
So I go to school, and then break time now I go swim house.
And go house.
Then after eating I'll just sleep. So along the line, I think somewhere class 2.
Right.
That's year 2. Class 2. I was moved from Methodist primary.
Right.
Then I went to the Presby primary school.
Oh.
So Methodist primary. So that's why when you ask me what my name is, I'll say Aboagye Dennis Edward. Because the Presbyterians, that's how we are groomed. You are trained to mention your surname first. So yes. Aboagye Dennis Edward. Miracles. So yes, Latte Methodist primary, Presby primary. Then later on, I went to Swedro International School.
Oh.
We call it Swiss.
Swiss, okay.
Deeds, not words. That's our motto.
Right.
Deeds,
not words.
So we don't talk plenty. Once you are from Swiss, you're a product of Swiss, you just do it. And yours is to make things happen. So from there, everybody in my class.
And you are living it, you are making things happen.
No, you have to. You don't have a choice.
Right.
That's how you're trained. And I remember when I left Latte, Methodist primary and Presby, and went to Swiss. You know how it is. Like Latte, they're a street boy.
Yeah.
And then Swiss was like an NW school small.
Okay.
And it was a boarding school small. So they just dropped me in there. I just come from Latte. The grammar self, the English self was problematic. So for a whole year, almost 1 year, 2 years, no convo. No. You don't talk to anybody. You don't interact with anybody. Yeah. They bully you and you're fine.
You just take it.
It's not as if you want to take it too. But if you are going to challenge them, you need to converse.
Yes.
So I use that time to sort of build the confidence, build the capacity to engage. So by the time I enter I think I went to Swiss in class 6. Yes.
Right.
So by the time I got to Form 1, Form 2, I'll be the guy.
Groomed.
Yeah. And then from there, I came to Okwapaman School.
Right.
Ekropong.
Right.
So then I did Okwapaman. From Okwapaman, I came to University of Ghana. The best university in Ghana. The only university in Ghana. And I studied political science.
Okay.
I did political science, combined major with philosophy. In fact, I was doing French, philosophy and political science. But I dropped the French in 3rd year.
Oh, because I was going to ask you if you speak French.
No, I do actually.
Okay.
But I dropped it in 3rd year because you needed to do additional 1 year.
Yeah.
If you had year abroad, come back. By the time you come, your mates are gone.
Gone, yes.
I said, nah, Charlie, I don't go feel watching the boys when they finish school.
So you have to be with them.
So I said, no. So I dropped French. and then I did political science philosophy, and that's what I basically left school with. And then from there, I did my MBA in marketing. Then I did chartered marketing, so I chartered,
right?
And then so that's what it's been.
Very interesting story. We're going to get back, I believe, to talk about your parenting and how the upbringing and how you got into the space. But what hobbies do you have?
Let's just watch football and talk. Let's just sit down and watch football and talk. Talk about nothing. All the the way boys chat. You don't come with any topical. So you talk football now, you realize they are doing music. Then the last one will come.
Yes.
That one. That one. That would be the last one. But last.
Yeah.
So really, that's how I like to just hold it down. Let's watch the football. Let's read a bit more. Let's write. So so I write a lot. I have plenty things I've written. And read plenty. Because if you talk plenty like me, you have to read.
Read, yes.
Because if you don't read,
there'll be nothing to say. Okay, there'll be something to say, but you wouldn't make sense.
Saying on fire. You'll be saying on fire.
Yes.
And if you don't want to say on fire, then you must read.
Yes.
It's heavy reading for me.
Right.
From geography to economics to Greek to Latin to
everything.
Because we grew up being argumentative.
Yes.
So we are debaters.
Right.
So I have to go and pick the DJ book and read them.
And know,
what
to speak.
Yes. Mercury they talk something.
Yeah.
I go talk,
if I say tempo, you know what tempo
is.
I
have to know. I have to know. So basically, that's what really I try to do. During those moments.
I understand you love Brighter Day.
Oh yeah, Obrafo and Sako.
Yes.
I think that song is lyrically deep.
Right.
I really connect with that song. I've really taken my time to soak the lyrics.
Right.
Of that particular track. And
for a man who writes, definitely you know appreciation of poetry and music.
And especially if you have the kind of background that some of us have.
Yeah.
It's an inspirational song. It's that kind of song that uplifts your spirits. You listen to it and you'd realize that, what, don't give up. Let's keep pushing. Like Dr. Baumia would say, it is possible and that breakthrough can come at any time. So yes, Obrafo featuring Sarkodie is my all-time track that I can think of.
Yeah.
Be okay. This song, this track,
it's a big song.
I'm telling you, especially when you come from where we come from.
Right.
I mean, you come from a place where you wake up in the morning and you are just dreaming. You are just dreaming and hoping that it happens for you.
Yeah.
You know, you just want to be that imaginary figure that you've had in mind from childhood.
Right.
And you look around you and you are wondering, you know. So that's one of the reasons why I got into politics. Honestly speaking, I got into politics because I come from a background where I felt a lot of young people were wasting away through no fault of theirs.
Right.
I mean, so the mere fact
that's very deep.
The mere fact that you are born to parents that could not afford to pay your fees. So what?
Right.
So because I'm born to parents that could not afford fees, I cannot dream to be a lawyer. I cannot dream to be a doctor. I cannot dream to be a DJ. I can't refuse that right to picture how it is standing behind a console inside Hit FM studio because you come from somewhere that you think you can never afford. You know, and that's why songs like Obrafo featuring Sarkodie uplifts you. It makes you believe that, you know, because he said real deep things.
Yes.
And sometimes we give up even without trying because we look behind and we feel it's not possible.
Yes.
You know, it's not possible.
But it is possible.
It is possible, Mekwikwe. I mean, others have done it. I mean, I am here.
Yeah.
I am here. And so I go back home and I see a lot of contemporaries, you know, people that we grew up with.
Yeah.
We went to the same class where we played together, we ate together, and they're back home. You know, so if I take about 40 of my contemporaries that I sat in class 1, class 2 with, back home, we're just about 10 that are out there. So the question is, what happened to the 30?
To the 30.
Why couldn't they also? Because I see
do something significant.
We're brilliant ones more than us, but simply because they did not get the opportunity. It's simply because their parents could not afford. You know, there were some of our people that back in the days, they come to school and they are timid simply because they are afraid of the bears. When I went to Kwapman school, I keep saying and telling this story that I was more afraid of the bears than the headmaster.
Did you have strict parents?
I didn't have.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't have. I was groomed and trained by my grandparents and my single mother.
Oh.
So, you know, single mothers, we will leave you, make you do.
Easy.
You know, and I think, I mean, it all depends on but we're trained with the Christian principles. So I'm a pure Methodist, you know, trained ideals.
Right.
Charles Wesley, John Wesley, you know. So you grew up loving Christ. You grew up fearing God. You go do all the things, but you for pray.
Yeah, you've got to pray.
I mean, you go do all the things, but you for go church.
Yes.
You for go church.
And sing the hymns.
You know, Sunday you can't miss church. Grandfather will not let you miss Sunday church.
Yes.
So you can, the whole week is yours, but Sunday there is for grandpa and the church. You know, so that's how we were groomed. And for me, I think it's made a huge difference in my life.
Right. So let's take it back to awesome. Well, just in case you just joined us, it's a very fantastic conversation with Dennis Miracles Aboagye, Ghanaian politician and presidential staffer. It's good to have him in the place. He's the communication director for Bawumia's 2024 campaign. He's doing an amazing job. And so at this point, let's talk about Okwapeman.
Yeah.
You had a nickname?
You know, when I was in the Kwapman school, that was when I got the name Miracles. So my mom gave me Miracles out of nowhere.
Oh.
And then I went to school. Then, you know the way we do
yeah.
I just went to my bed.
Yes.
And I started,
scribbling
it on the bed. So then that became the name.
Oh.
You know, but when I was in JHS Swiss, I was called Baby You. So when I'm coming, when you see me coming, Baby Yo, then I say, above the forest area. You know, but up to that, I don't know what that means. I really cannot. But
it was just a vibe.
Yeah,
it was a vibe.
Like when I'm coming like that, once I start walking like that, there's a Baby Yo, and I was like this, you know. Even now, sir, you see the height.
No, I think.
But that time I was like this.
I think when you are stepping out today, these guys are going to start like Baby Yo,
Baby Yo. That's about the forest area. You know, so I was like this small.
Right.
You know, but when I went to Kwapman school, for some reason, one afternoon, my mom was just screaming my name, Dennis. I wasn't responding. They said Miracles. But I never asked them why.
Oh.
So I just went to school, scribbled it on my bed. Then the boys started calling me Miracles.
So that's its way.
Yeah, but now, so that is my name. It's fully gazetted.
So it hadn't been your name.
No, it wasn't my name. It was just a nickname. But I realized that now you go on Google and you enter Dennis Edward, you don't find me.
It's the Miracles that actually brings.
So but Okwaman School was quite fun. I mean, I went to Okwaman School, having been to the boarding school in the junior high school. So I went there hard boy, short hard boy.
Yeah. I like that.
Smallish but very hard, because more of the boys.
You don't go official, I'm not.
No, but more of the boys, they go school, they don't go boarding.
Yeah.
But I went to the boarding school at the basic school. So I came to a class well prepared, but it was tough. It was tough because, I mean, single mother, she's a teacher, trying to make sure that she pushes you through.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. I mean, you are in the class and you are looking through the window, checking if the buzzer is coming. The buzzer is chasing you all over the place.
Yeah.
And when you go for Sunday service, buzzer is looking for you. In the classroom, buzzer is
waiting for you.
Dining hall, as you can't chop the buzzer come.
Some way.
But we had to labor through. We didn't have to give up. We didn't say because buzzer is always chasing you should give up. Because mommy will pay. Except that it's a matter of time. So once in a while you go beg mommy to say, you go beg beggars to say at the beg. The thing will come.
Yeah, it will definitely come.
But it's a situation that I went through that I vowed that whatever I could do to ensure that others don't go through that, I have to do that. So I remember when I was MC in Ekuapem North, I was spending close to 30-40% of the funds on paying school fees.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you understood. You knew
trying to
what it felt like.
A lot of the university students.
Yeah.
I was paying fees for a lot of students who had graduated from secondary school and wanted to go to the university. Heavy investment there, because it kills your spirit. Yeah. Your self-esteem leaves you.
Yes.
And a school like Okwaman School, that's a mixed school. Imagine sitting in a class with girls, and boys, when we hit that age, that's when, self-awareness, the flex and everything. Then as for you, every time, Beza they come saki. Every time Beza they come saki. So it was quite a tough, and challenging times at that time. But we survived it because we're not going to go back home like that. We're not going to go back home like that. And if that's what we had to suffer to be able to get to where we wanted to get to, we had to do it. But that is where, we managed to discover ourselves. Ukwas is where we discovered ourselves. That is where the politics started. I started mobilizing for MPP in Okwaman School when I didn't even have a vote.
That's very interesting.
Yes, I didn't have a vote. That's when I started mobilizing in Okwaman School. That's my constituency. That's where I come from. So it was quite easy because my grand uncle, Honorable Ijariko, was the member of parliament, around that time, and so we sort of had to help mobilize the people, put them together, and studying alongside. But were the politicians on campus at that time?
At the time.
Yeah.
Also, you have a lot of fans coming through on Facebook, and I'm going to read some of the interesting messages on there in a bit. Before we get into that, let's talk about entertainment. I mean, I know my listener, loves entertainment. They would like to know. So, back in school, were you involved in entertainment activities?
No. I don't. So, I did like jams.
Okay.
So, the jams day. I think the jams were doing it like once a month.
So,
that one, the entertainment usually SS variety night.
Yeah.
I can't dance. Crack. I can't crack. I know they sing. Wait, you see, the other thing too was that because I was smallish.
Okay.
Even if you can do it, the boys will put you aside. They're not going to make you do it. Those times, school, if you be smallish.
Heckling you and all of that.
As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this before I come to the entertainment bit. Because of my size, I had to develop a skill to be able to control my space.
Okay.
So it's one of the things that really helped me in life. And Swiss, when it's time to play the football, and the teams are being formed, because you are small, they don't want you to play. Because no team wants that smallest boy on your side.
They want the guys that can intimidate.
So every day they play. But they play ball.
Hey.
No, they play football. Proper football.
Oh, Charlie?
No. They play proper football.
Next time.
No. They play.
Tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow. Join Invitational, yes.
I'll come. They play football. No, I'm not going to lie.
Right.
Yeah. Lefty you.
Hey.
No. Lefty.
No, tomorrow 11, show them
11. Maybe right now I go do standing 11 because if I run plenty. But I used to play football very well. Right. And I found it really hurtful that I could play more than a lot of these guys on the pitch. But because of your size, you are shoved aside. So you know what I decided to do? I said, okay, fine. everybody in the class wants to play the ball. Okay, I also want to play. Yeah. But nobody wants to sit on the fence. So I said, okay, then I'll manage the team now. Because that's the role nobody wanted to play.
Right.
So now I became team manager.
Smart.
Everybody wants to play, so I hold the jersey and then I hold the ball. Card. So I decide who plays. So from there, I started taking that leadership role.
Right.
That thing that nobody wants to do.
Yes.
The one that nobody wants to do. Yes. The job that
and that's true leadership.
Yeah. The one that nobody. I realized that they won't let me do what everybody else wants to do. So now I started controlling them. So you go play, you go play, you go play. So the boy that everybody was pushing aside was now deciding who plays on the pitch.
Yes.
So the same thing was class. Entertainment, go fit dance, they don't go make you crack some. Those are they crack their goals. So how they do so.
Yeah. And then do something like this.
You don't go do. So you say the girls they don't see what you do. So because that is where the girls will spot you.
And you are not in that space.
So I like jams.
Right.
So the jams there, they will put the tables to cover everywhere. And then Charlie, they play the music, they dance. The light they off.
Yeah.
Move through them.
Yeah, once the blue boots and strobing and all that.
They dance.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite part of the entertainment, in class at that time.
So what in all of these, what were you aspiring? What did you aspire to be while growing up?
I wanted to be a lawyer.
Oh, a lawyer?
Yes, I wanted to. Actually, I was being called Dennis Law when I was in class 3.
Dennis Law.
Charlie, I will talk to you from now to 12 a.m.
Charlie, you got some revelations.
No, we can talk to
Dennis
12.
Law.
I can tell you, I can keep your audience listening out to 12. So, because of the talkative nature,
right,
they gave me Dennis Law. Then I graduated from Okwas. I've passed though. Okwas, I do plenty. I pass. So I wanted to study law.
Right.
That time, Legon was just postgraduate.
Right.
You can do first degree law. And then Tech had introduced first degree law. So I applied. And then they called us for interview. I went for the interview. And then these very experienced people, lawyers, top, white, gray-haired men, they asked me one question. Do you have a lawyer in your family? I said, no, I don't have. Then why do you want to be a lawyer? Then I explained to them that I have to go back home. That people who need my services. At that time, there was this incidence of abuse by the police in my town. They will take money for bail. So growing up, I didn't see all those things. So they bore me. I said, I will be a lawyer. I will come back home. Then the guys told me that, you don't have a lawyer at home. It's not the best. You need to have somebody. So they didn't pick me to go to the law faculty at Tech because I didn't have a lawyer at home. Until date, I've not forgiven them. I've said it severally. Yes. Until date, I have not forgiven them.
So does it mean they asked this question?
That's all. That's what they asked. And then
and that's it.
Yes, and that's it.
It could determine your fate.
Yes. And as I sit here, I haven't been to the law school, but I listened to someone. I said, this is like a Faduam.
Yeah.
But they didn't pick me because of that. And I was wondering.
I mean,
if there was a reason why you would deny
someone
the opportunity to simply come and study law because. But there should be a first person in my family.
There should be.
There was none, but there should be one.
Yes. And then
others will follow, but I was denied. So I've sworn not to go to the law school.
I still think it's a blessing in disguise because without that, I'm sure you probably not be sitting here.
Lawyer parties, they go there for me. So that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I wanted to be a lawyer. But along the line, when I went to Legon, and I got involved in proper politics, I realized that you could impact society, you could cause a lot of change through politics.
Right.
And so then I decided to get involved properly. And I think it's been quite impactful for me, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure so will a lot of people that you are impacting would say. I know also that in between you have been in the marketing space. I believe even as we speak now you're within that space.
That's what I do.
Yes. So
that's what I do.
What actively, have you done within that space?
So I mean, career-wise,
for 10 years.
Career-wise,
yes.
It's politics. It's marketing.
Right.
So I've worked in lots of blue chip companies in town, but I've spent most of my time with the Enterprise Group. Enterprise Group. We started building the Enterprise Pension Subsidiary. The Enterprise Trustees Limited. I was with them from almost about 2012 to 2017. I think I did about 5 or 6 years there. And then before then, I did about another 5 years in the corporate space doing fast-moving consumable goods. But I registered my first company in Legon. Media X Multimedia.
Media X.
A pure advertising and marketing company.
Right. So if you're watching us on Facebook or you're listening and you interfaced with Media X, holla.
That was my first. That was my first company. I mean, I was a student then. I went. So on campus, I was a very influential student politician. So we were the guys who were the agenda boys. We installed the SRC president, installed the JCR president. We know the contest.
Fix the system.
Yeah, we don't contest. But we go install everybody. Then when you finish, you go do business. So the JCR president, the SRC president, we used to print T-shirts, exercise books, magazines, and all of that. So I registered a company. So I was printing for Kwafu Hall, Sabah Hall, the SRC at the time. You know. So I did that when I was in level 400. So I got a contract to print. You were a student, so I just take the contract and I'll come to Kokomimli down here.
Yeah.
I have some guy, I don't know where he is now, the Newtown area. Some guy, Sef-K.
Right.
So I go come talk to him and say, Charlie, this is the contract I get, but I don't get money. But they go pay me because if be dues, they go take pay. So
the money will come.
Print the thing for me. So I'll cut a deal with Sef-K, then, we'll print it, we'll take it to campus, we'll give it to them. So we're doing pen drive branding, pen branding, exercise book branding, but after school, I pursued it further.
Right.
So I was doing branding for Tanink Ghana Limited. I don't know if you know Tanink.
Yes,
the Alpha Romeo. I have done branding for Tanink Ghana Limited, branding for a couple of companies right after Legon. Then I did national survey. Then along the line, I had to go to school. Then, the business space, be easy like that. So along the line, I had to detour and come back to the corporate space. Then I went back into business. So I am a marketing company running.
You still do?
Yes, I do. I have a marketing company running. I have a meat processing factory that is also running, and a couple of other businesses. I mean, anything that will sell. Because see, we they come from the mountains.
True.
we are not going back.
You know where you're coming from.
No, we are not going back.
No.
We are not going back like we came. We are not going back like we came.
Yes.
So we have to do things. So
make
basically,
an impact.
Yes. I mean. But I try not to let politics mess it up. You know the way people do politics in this country. It's very likely this morning, if you chewed sausage, is my sausage. But I won't tell you, because if I tell you, no, Charlie, see, when I go, say, somebody no go chew the sausage simply because of the MPP. What kind of country?
So I mean, that actually, positions us for the next question. What do you make of the current state of politics in Ghana compared to when you actually started?
It's the same, no change. The same.
Same old.
The same diabolic, the same acrimonious. As we go, say, we get worse. Because the thing is just competing ideas. You see the way we've been talking since?
Yeah.
For me, that's what politics is all about for me. Let's talk, let's debate. If ultimately the listener feels that my idea is superior, let's move with that one. But why are we fighting? Why are you trying to harm me because I disagree with you?
Right.
It's not such a big deal. It's just competing ideas. I may be wrong with my idea.
Yes.
But you could also equally be wrong. So let's just share it. Ultimately, we are not the consumers of the ideas.
Yes.
The real consumers are our ideas.
And let them decide.
But if you not take a small, then...
Awudema, we have very interesting messages on Facebook. Awudema G8 says, Musa, says, Sami Boachi says, Dennis Miracles, astute communicator by all standard. Thank you for that. And we have Emmanuel Owusu, who's just, clapping on Facebook. A lot of messages coming in. Thank you all for your comments. I'll read as many as I can on the show. Right. So let's talk about politics with what you've seen, what you have experienced. Would you advise your kids or the youth in general to get into politics?
You must be ready for it. Let's say if you're not ready for it, you can't do it. It's not as rosy as you say it. If you want to get into it, you must have the passion for it.
As some people say, is it a calling? Is it supposed to be a calling?
I don't think it's a calling. It's an issue of a calling.
Right.
It's an issue of you identify it as a passion. Because you see, you must be ready to endure the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because ultimately, like I said, competing ideas. And yours is to make sure that your idea is adopted, and accepted by the people. And in politics there are no rules. Everything they inside.
Yeah. Everything some.
See, chaotic.
Yeah.
You know, chaotic. So you have to be ready for it. You can't pretend as if you're just coming in. That's why a lot of people come in and get disappointed and all of that. But I have been groomed. You know, I've gone through this. So this thing like I told you, SS2.
That's where you actually.
That's when I've gone through it. I've been groomed. I've seen it. In fact, I'm very young, but I am very sure I've seen it a lot. I've seen a lot. You know, so I would advise you to get in when you have the passion for it.
Right.
You know, and especially when you love it, because it's about impact.
Yeah.
Mekwi, about a month ago, I had a meeting up the mountain, and I just wanted to talk to some young people. And when we met, about 45 of them were university students and university graduates that I had paid fees for.
Wow.
For me, that is impact. And when I say I paid fees for, it's not as if I put my hand in my pocket to pay their fees. But I had a position that could get the resource allocated to pay for their fees.
For their fees.
You get what I'm saying?
So that's facilitation.
Exactly. So because as MC, I go to the General Assembly and say, you know what, this year's budget, please. I want us to put aside 30% for education. And education for scholarships. And mine is to lobby the assembly members to buy into it. And we're paying.
Right.
We're paying for extreme poor people. I tell you what, even for free SHS. But for some people, for some interventions, others will not have gone to school, even for free SHS. That one that you for just bath and carry your bag and go. Some of them didn't even have the soap to bath. For some people, they didn't have the socks to wear. You know, and so if you haven't seen hardship before, you'll see some of these things to be very abstract.
Yeah.
But in that meeting, over 40 lifted their hands and said, oh, you paid for my fees. Oh, you know, you took me here. Oh, you know, you're the reason why I'm in school. You're the reason why I've graduated.
Yeah.
And for me, that is what politics is all about. You know, and if you have the passion to see people grow, if you have the passion to make a difference, you know, then you should come into politics. I tell my staff all the time that when I go out in the morning, I like fans. So sometimes when I go to so all the market women up the mountain, they are my friends.
Right.
Because the market women, they give you fans.
Yes.
The men, if you do things for them, they don't go fans you. But the market women,
they'll give you fans.
Oh, they go put cloth for them, make you walk on them. And I like the fans because then you know that you've really made an impact.
We have Dennis. We actually have Dachi Hini Nanayao. He's watching live inside Belgium. Says kudos to Dennis. And Baja Nuruddin says Dennis' commitment to truthful communication is admirable. A true asset to Ghanaian politics. Keep it up, director. Right. And Prince loves your style of communication, says that's the way to go. And Emilio says the communication goats. And, well, very interestingly, Emmanuel Owusu describes you as Gen Z president.
I am.
Right.
I am the Gen Z. Undisputed president of the Gen Zs. No doubt about that. But see my height. If I shave this thing right now, I don't go GHS1. If I shave this thing right now, I don't go GHS1.
Let me ask you, Miracles. We have Ikwa Donko. There is President Mahama. A number of candidates. Why did you throw your support behind Vice President Bawumia as the presidential candidate of the MPP?
He's sincere. Mekwi, I have been doing politics in my very young age for a very long time. I have followed a lot of politicians. I mean, we just serve. I always used to serve.
Right.
So we sit in meetings, we hear, we see people go up and down because we are learning. And I can tell you that I have never seen a politician as sincere as Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He has complete clarity in thought. He has a clear plan as to what he wants to do as a president for this country. You know what? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is one of the few politicians that meets you, shakes your hands, and looks you in the eye. And I can tell you that if you meet any man who shakes you and looks straight direct into your eye, no matter how much crowd you have there, that's a sincere man. That's a man who have nothing to hide. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not the regular politician. Like I told you, I was picked as a little boy, brought into this jungle of political space.
Right.
And I've been groomed. I've been trained by all the politicians you can think about. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a technocrat. He was not a politician. He just came into politics as a detour.
Right.
And he's a fine line between that fine politician and that fine technical man. So when he wakes up in the morning and he's thinking solutions. He's always thinking solutions. And I can tell you that that level of sincerity, that level of clarity in thought is very important. Clarity in thought.
Right.
And commitment to the cause of Ghana is the reason why I've chosen the side of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And it's the best decision any young person can take in this country. He is thinking futuristic. He's thinking about creating the Ghana that all of us are seeing in other countries that we would want to go and experience and go to. And for me, that I think is very, very important. We've been stagnant for a very long time, for too long of a time. We've been moving in circles for a very long time. We've been marching past for a very long time. It's time, where we are now, it's time for us to have a leader that is ready to take us into the future that we as a people aspire to be. And that's why the Gen Zs, a lot of these young people, you see them connecting with Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Of course, once you're a politician, be rest assured that the more you try to clarify what your thoughts are, the more your opponent will try to, smear you simply because they don't have to. But he's a good man.
Dennis, very, very Miracles Aboagye is my guest, in case you just tuned in. If this is your first time on this platform, my name is Mercury Quay. And it was great, beautiful conversation. Of course, he's the communication director for Bawumia's 2024 campaign and responsible for local government and decentralization, with additional responsibility as executive secretary for the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization. Dennis, Miracles Aboagye. Well, we are pressed for time. Time is not our ally. I really wish we had more time to do this. I'd like us to touch briefly on creative art before we say goodbye. So what is your assessment of the creative arts industry, looking at the time before the MPP took over now, and what is the way forward? What should we expect in that space?
The creative art is one part that, in fact, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been working with them for a very long time on the quiet to try to build some of the critical, anchors for that space. In the next few days, for instance, he will be launching the platform for Gamro.
Right.
A purely digitized platform for Gamro to sort of help improve on the collection of these rights for the creative art. He's also worked with the creative arts industry players themselves to develop a music streaming platform. That is also to be launched in November.
Right.
And basically all he's trying to do is to create these platforms and avenues for our creatives to be able to, get the needed money for the works that they are doing. They need to raise the revenue for the works that they are doing. They need to be getting the worth of what it is that they are doing. So those two things are coming up even before the elections. Right. So the streaming platform is going to be launched inside November. The Gamro platform is also ready. That's also going to be launched. And the good thing is that these things were developed in collaboration with the creative arts industry players themselves. A lot of the A-list artists you can think of are part of these projects. Now, he's also thought about the fact that you can do creative arts and succeed and stay in your country. We need to export. We need to do a bit more. And so he's creating this protocol services for the creative arts players. It's one of the difficult areas for them. So they get shows, they have to travel, and it's so much work to even secure the visas and all of that. So he's committed to work with them to create that protocol services in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to ensure that the artist and his entourage have a very seamless, system in place to acquire visas and travel and go and come without any difficulties. Not just the musician or the artist, it includes the artists, the creative art writers, the bloggers,
all the professionals within the space,
all the stakeholders within the space. Right. They are going to be benefiting from those services. And I think that really, once he's committed to completing these theaters that are being built across the country, and he's created a platform for streaming to be able to get the needed revenue for the artists, and created the seamless protocol services for the artists to be able to go out there and get their job done and come back. it would empower these creative arts. They will be able to raise the needed, resources for the work that they do. And the more they make, the more they're able to invest into their craft, and everybody is happy. Today, I'm sure by now a lot of airlines coming to Ghana are fully booked in December. And if they are coming, these creative arts must be busy.
Absolutely.
They must be busy. And if they are going to be busy, they must be getting the money worth for what it is that they are doing. And so that's the sort of thing Dr. Aboagye is doing with these creatives. Thanks
very much for joining us. Amazing time with you, Dennis Miracles Aboagye, Ghanaian politician, and of course, presidential staffer. We definitely must do a part 2 of this. Thank you so much for honoring the invitation. I'm sure in just a minute, you would have a message for your fans out there, and anything you'd like to share with us before we say goodbye.
Yes, I mean, fundamentally, this goes to the Gen Zs.
Right.
My appeal is that we are at a crossroad. This country is going into a very important elections on December 7th. It's not about how you feel. It's about what is crucial and critical and important for the future of this country. There are 13 people on the ballot. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the best person to lead this country going into the future. He's number 1 on the ballot. He has clear-cut policies for every single Ghanaian listening to us. The taxi driver, the kayaye, the hairdresser, dressmaker, the teacher, the banker, the nurse, the security services person. There is complete clarity as to what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia plans to do for these people. In fact, if you pick his manifesto, he has a specific chapter for the elderly in our society. He has a chapter for women and young girls. And I think that we need to give him an opportunity to become president, to at least show what it is that he could do for the future of this country. I have no doubt, absolutely no doubt, that he's a good man. He's a sincere man. He is undoubtedly very, very committed to the cause of Ghana. And he would be a fantastic president.
Thanks very much. My name is Mercury Quay Dennis.